a blanket, and a strap if you have it. For oh, hello, miss. I'm so sorry. So sorry. To start practice, we're going to take our blanket, our bath towel, our throw blanket, whatever we're using, and we're going to roll it up into what I call the Swiss roll. It doesn't really matter how big or small the Swiss roll is. We're going to use it as a nice pillow underneath our neck. And then we're going to lay down on our backs, keeping our knees bent to honor the low back, keeping a strap nearby, might be a robe tie, might be a dog leash, and then lowering yourself down onto your back, letting your head be held by this sweet blanket or pillow right beneath you. And take a moment just to let your body settle, right? Really allow your shoulder blades to melt into the earth. Feel your hip bones settle in, maybe give them a shimmy. And then feel the pads of your feet pressing down into the earth. And then when you're ready, relax your body to be cradled and held by Mother Nature for just a moment. Finding your breath. Let's take a few cleansing breaths together. A deep inhale into the body, as deep as feels good. And a nice slow exhale, letting it linger out the nose or mouth. A few more deep inhales at your pace, letting that exhale really mellow, slow, and linger. Maybe with each exhale, you imagine your shoulders, the back of your neck, the back of your head melting just a little further into this blanket. With each exhale, can you let the blanket receive the weight of your head and neck? Relaxing your jaw, let your tongue hang out somewhere easy in your mouth. Can you let the blanket receive the weight of your head? Now, as you relax fully into this blanket, can you feel the blanket receiving the weight of your head, right? Can you relax it down? Now, can you receive the support of the blanket beneath your head? So at first, we're letting the blanket receive the weight of our head. And now we are allowing our head, our neck, to receive the support of the blanket. The blanket wants to hold us. It wants to cradle us here, and we can relax fully into it. So with each slow, lingering exhale, feel the blanket holding the back of the head. Let the full weight of the head and neck be received by the blanket as we receive the blanket's support. Beautiful. Remain here for as long as you like, but when you're ready, we're going to find a little sway in the knees. We know this one. And let it be slow and lazy. As you sway your knees back and forth, maybe you come up onto the blade edges of your feet. We're relaxing the knees down towards the earth, and we're giving the hips and the low belly and low back time to relax as well. So if it takes you a little longer to feel that full releasing sensation, then let your knees hang for a little longer. All right, it's not a workout. This is reconnecting with ourselves. It's letting the mind notice the body's sensations and movements. Now, as you sway those knees at the pace that delights you, we're going to turn our neck the opposite direction of our knees. Finding a flow back and forth if it feels good. or hanging out, right? If your knees are going one way, your gaze another, and it just feels delicious, pause there. Honor the needs of your body. Feel held by this blanket as we explore what feels good. And as you do that, breathing, feeling, and being, I'm going to read you a short bit of poetry by Nikita Gill from her book, These Are the Words. It's entitled, How to Heal from the Pain. Someone may tell you your hurt is a small thing. And yes, we are all small. Just a flutter of a butterfly's wings in the grand scheme of the universe. But we are also the heartbeat of this planet, the sound of the birds at dawn, the colors of the sky. That is never the same shade twice. Listen, if you put your ear to a tree's trunk, maybe you can hear it grow. And all this to say, it is worth something to be here, to be alive and have all these small gifts, moments that you catch on your palms, where you look in wonder and are astonished by the abundance that you see. For our practice this morning, we're seeking out abundance. We talk about triggers, right, in trauma. We've learned recently about glimmers, right? Many of us. Can we catch in our palms in our practice today all the delights, all the joy, all the feel good, the release, the throughout our movement practice today? So while you let those knees sway for just a little longer, you might take a moment to set an intention to catch in your palms, catch in your mind's eye, and hold there any glimmers through your practice, anything that feels good, anything that reminds you of your wholeness, your worthiness, your unquestioning value, that you are love. Right? Anything that reminds you of how capable you are, we hold it in our hands. We take time to notice it. And we watch those experiences grow and grow. When you're ready, swing those knees upright. Let the head follow. I'm going to walk my heels close to my glutes. They traveled away from me. And then go ahead and grab that strap or that dog leash that you have. We're going to take a moment and place the ball of our left foot in that strap. So the front half of our foot or the top half of our foot towards the toes. And then we're going to draw that foot up towards the heart center. Nice and slow. So maybe we feel a stretch, the back of the hamstrings. Maybe you feel it up into the low back or the neck. Take a moment and notice where you feel this stretch. And then we're going to do some isometric work here. So when you're ready, you're going to hold either side of the strap and then press the ball of your foot hard into that strap. So we're engaging the muscles of our leg like we want to point our toe, but we're not letting it. Hold and breathe. Can you relax your shoulders while you do this, but keep that engagement in the legs? When we need to do something difficult, we tend to brace every muscle in our body to do this one thing. And here, we're going to press our toes into that strap and let everything else that can relax, relax. The jaw, the tongue, the belly. Ooh. And then when you're ready, relax your effort, soften that leg fully, and see if you want to invite it just a little further up towards the heart. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Yet again, pressing that toe into that strap. We're engaging the muscles of the leg. We're holding that engagement, holding that effort, softening everywhere else, right? And as we hold this effort, what we might find is when we soften, go ahead and soften, you have a little more mobility. Maybe it's just the tiniest bit. One more time, pressing our toes into that strap, taking it slow. Breathing deep into the body. We're not shallowing the breath. We're not holding it. We're moving with intention this morning, letting our mind's eye be in every sensation of our body. When you're ready, release effort from that leg. Maybe you pull it a little further towards the heart center. From here, both straps in the left hand, we're going to open that leg out wide. Can you soften through the inner groin? And again, with these deep stretches, we're only going as far as the body is asking, right? So if we find that we're softening and opening and it's causing us a little pain, find a little ease, right? We're looking for those glimmers. And the glimmers are enjoyment of sensation, right? The glimmers aren't the shapes we make. The glimmers aren't, oh, I did what Danaé asked me to. The glimmers are, oh, that feels good in my body, or oh, that doesn't feel good. I'm going to choose this instead, and feeling empowered by that choice. Beautiful. You might let this right knee fall open a little bit if you want an even deeper stretch. Another breath or two here. Again, through slowness, we find release. And then when you're ready, rotate this foot skyward, both straps in the right hand. This time, you're going to imagine your left leg is anchored deep down into the earth through the back of this left hip. The left hip cannot lift off the ground, right? You're going to slowly swing that left leg over towards the right, like we're going in the opposite direction, but without ever lifting that hip. So we're getting into the piriformis here. Ooh, this is great if we have SI joint issues. Breathe and be. You might even squeeze this right knee or the thighs closer together, right? The right knee towards the left, squeezing the inner thighs together, maybe even getting a deeper stretch here. Another deep breath, right? Because we're softening through the shoulders, we're softening through the belly, we're only engaging the parts of our body that we need to, which means we're softening through the outer left side of the hip as well. Whew. And then when you're ready, you might rotate on over towards the right, lifting that hip up off the ground as far as you want to go. I've got a window here, but maybe you want to go further. And then maybe you take that left arm and stretch it out towards the left. You might even lift your head and turn your gaze towards those outstretched left fingertips. And then when you're ready, roll it open. Release that foot. Press through the heel. Slowly lower this leg down towards the earth. Nice and slow. How slow can you go? Pressing through that heel, flexing the toes towards the heart. Whew, maybe it touches down, maybe it doesn't. We're just checking in with how the low back feels. And then a little ab work here. Maybe we put the strap back behind our thigh, maybe we don't. But we're going to use our left leg as a paintbrush. So point the toe, lift that leg. This is where you might strap that bad boy, right? Flex the toes towards the heart, lower it back down with or without that strap. So moving with the breath. On an inhale, we point the toe and raise. Exhale, flex the toes and lower. Let's do this 4 more times, moving at your own pace. Maybe you're only lifting and lowering that leg just a little bit. Does it delight you? Does it feel good this morning? It's never been about what you are or are not capable of. Our healing has been about, can we find joy where we're at? Can we find delight just as we are? And let me tell you, if you go looking for it, you're going to find little bits of it. Go ahead and bend that knee. And then let's switch sides. So ball of that right foot in this strap, whoo, pulling it towards the heart center. I can tell already this side of my body is tight, tight, tight. Maybe you notice that this side feels easier or harder than the other side. That's not an evaluation of the work that needs to be done. It's just something to note. It's just information. The body is not symmetrical. And by noticing that, we just notice the truth. When you're ready, press the toe into that strap, pull the strap back towards the heart center, isometric engagement of the leg here. Breathing, releasing those shoulders. Ooh, mine always want to flex and bunch up. Pressing that toe, another breath or two, holding this effort. Hi, baby girl. Yeah. And then when you're ready, hi, honeys, gently pull it towards your heart center. Only a little bit or none at all, right? Maybe you just find that by using that isometric press, it's a little easier just to hold the leg up here. When you're ready, press those toes. Ooh, holding that effort, releasing the jaw, breathing deep into the belly. On an exhale of your choice, release all effort from the leg, pull it towards the heart center. Can we breathe space into sensation, right? So any intensity that you might feel in your body, can you imagine sending your breath there, creating expansiveness, and then as you exhale, leaving softness behind? When you're ready, once more, those toes press into that strap. Breathe and be. Find your glimmers. Do you feel strong this morning? Maybe you're just enjoying that you're being extra gentle with yourself every chance that you get. When you're ready, relax that leg, pull it towards the heart center one more time if you like. Breathe. Send your breath to that intensity. Imagine it releasing, softening, and then watch what happens in your body. How powerful our imagination is. When you're ready, both straps in that right hand, we open it wide as it wants to go. And then maybe you let that left leg swing open as well. What feels good? Maybe you don't enjoy this stillness. Maybe you want a little movement, right? A little wiggle of the hips. Do what feels good. When you're ready, rotating that foot skyward, again, anchoring that right hip down into the earth as you slowly rotate that foot towards the left. And then again, if you want an even deeper twist, we're going to squeeze our inner thighs together. You'll notice my left knee, whoop, tracks further up towards the ceiling. It's exactly what we want. And breathe into the sensation you feel. Beautiful. When you're ready, ooh, maybe you bring that right leg all the way over towards the left, extending that right arm out wide if it feels good, and then turning your head towards the right as well. Deep breaths, big sighs might feel good here. Anytime we want to make noise, do it. Feels good, right? When you're ready, roll back skyward. Release that foot or slide the strap down the back of the heel or the back of the leg, and then flex the toes towards the heart. Lower that leg slowly, ever so slowly. Maybe it hovers, maybe the heel taps. Take a moment to feel the length on the right side of the body. And then when you're ready, get your paintbrush prepped. Point that toe. Lift on the inhale. Flex and lower on the exhale. Point and lift. Flex and lower, taking it at the pace of your own breath. Let's do this 4 more times. Doing what feels good. Maybe you keep the knee bent as you do this, right? You decide what feels delicious in your body. And then when you're ready, lower that leg nice and slow. One more time. Bend the knee. Go ahead and plant that bad boy. Wonderful. From here, we're going to come into Baddha Konasana. And Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclined bound angle, doesn't feel good for everybody. Sometimes this makes us feel emotionally vulnerable. And if that is how this makes you feel, a little too exposed, then you can do this with the pads of your feet planted, knees skyward. Do not hesitate for a moment to choose what feels good for you. From wherever you are, we're either going to press the pads of our feet together or down into the earth and then squeeze our butt cheeks. That's right. You're going to clench those butt cheeks. Normally, I say the exact opposite, but we're doing something a little different here. So keeping those butt cheeks squeezed, you might press down into the feet or the outsides of your feet and begin to lift the hips gently. Again, maybe it's just a hover. Our goal isn't to get nice and high unless that feels good. And you might notice a shake in the legs, in the hips as you hover. And maybe you're not hovering, you're just squeezing the feet and the glutes. Either way, notice what wiggles, what shakes. So often as we're engaging our muscles, we want to stop the shake because we're ashamed, right? We've been told the shake is weakness. And this is the exact opposite, my friend. The little shimmy shake that you might feel by holding this engagement is power, right? That's excess energy that's being held in these deep muscles that we're going to release. So when you are ready, let go of all effort. Let the low back settle. Let the knees soften. Let the feet soften. Let every muscle in your body soften and release. Breathe and be, knowing that the letting go is every bit as important as the effort of showing up, right? They hold equal value. When you're ready, we're going to engage one more time, pressing the feet together, squeezing those butt cheeks hard, 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 right? Maybe you lift and hover. Maybe you just squeeze the feet down into the earth or pads of the feet together, depending on how you are, and keeping those cheeks clenched. Wherever you are, breathe into your belly. Let the effort rise, let the heat rise. And then when you're ready, lower down into the earth. Let those inner thighs soften. Let it all go. Beautiful. From here, we're going to slowly lift our knees towards one another, but we're going to do it real slow. So when you're ready, we're going to lift our knees together, but only a couple inches. And then we're just going to hold it here. Hold and breathe. And if your knees are together, the pads of the feet are planted, you're just going to open the knees just a little bit, not a lot, right? We're honoring our body. Beautiful. Just holding and holding. It might even feel like you're not putting any effort at all. Maybe you've noticed as a little shake in your legs. We're just holding and breathing. We're not here for pain. When you're ready, we're going to close the knees up just a little more, a few more inches, holding and breathing. Maybe you feel a little hum or a little shake in the legs. Maybe it's a big shake. Breathing and holding. And then once more, we're going to bring our knees skyward, plant the pads of our feet. Can you still feel the buzz? Can you feel the little shake? We call this a tremor in the legs. Maybe it's big and you can soften into it, right? Sometimes those legs really shake. Sometimes it just feels like the lightest little hum in the body. We're just breathing and being. Beautiful. From here, and whenever you're ready, find a little knee sway again. And then to stop any shaking, any buzzing, any tremoring in the legs, we're just going to extend them long and press through the heel. Beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful. Pressing through the heel. You might even flex the toes towards the heart to get a really good stretch there. And then come back into your bridge posture, planting the pads of both feet this time. And then I want to remove the blanket from beneath the head because we want to press the back of our head down into the earth. We're going to do some traditional bridge before we sit up and end our class in a seated posture. Wild. So I like to shimmy my arms together, puff my chest out. I call this robot arms, where I bend at the elbows and point my fingers skyward. Just gives us more control through the back of our upper arms here. And then I walk the heels towards my glutes as far as I need to feel the whole Padabandha root lock, the whole pad of my foot. From here, we're going to not squeeze the butt, not at all, right? You're going to press through the pads of your feet. Feel the weight of your glutes begin to lift. Maybe they rise. Bring that pelvis towards the sky, but doing so by driving through the feet and relaxing the butt. And holding however high feels good in your body. Be as high as you want to be. Hold and breathe. Let's take 3 more breaths here, lowering anytime we need. Keeping those butt cheeks relaxed. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, squeeze those glutes, press that pelvis as high as it wants to go, and then lower it back down nice and slow. You might even let the knees flop open, really just relaxing. Do what feels good. Can we feel any juicy benefits from our effort? When you're ready, prepare for your bridge, pressing down through the pads of the feet, relaxing those glutes, checking in every once in a while with those booty cheeks, knowing that the effort's going to sneak up on us. And breathing. Let's take 3 more breaths here. On your last exhale, squeeze those glutes, drive through the feet, press that pelvis skyward, and then lower, nice and slow, relax, release, let it go, be messy. Enjoy the rewards of your effort, even if the reward is just no longer having to put that effort in, right? One last bridge, plant the pads of the feet, prep the upper body. When you're ready, drive through the heels, relax the glutes. Whew. Sometimes for me, it's like a mind game. I always want to squeeze those cheeks. Breathe, 3 more breaths. Wherever the body wants to be is beautiful. We allow it, we honor it. On your exhale, squeeze those glutes, drive that pelvis skyward. When you're ready, release nice and slow, soften down into the earth, let it go. Beautiful. When you're ready, we're going to rock up or roll onto our side and sit up in a seat. If we're rocking up, we might bring the knees in towards the chest. And then take your time. Let it be messy, right? It might feel super good to rock up. It might not. Maybe you roll over onto your side and press up, knowing that the gentleness that you're offering your body is what it needs. And that's a gift. From here, grabbing that blanket, placing it underneath our sits bones. I'm going to unroll it so I have a bigger area. Taking a seat, let's widen our stance out. Press through the heels, flex the toes towards the heart. That seems to be a theme here. And then keeping the spine nice and long, we might tug on that string to find length. Let's draw little circles on the ceiling with the top of our head and let them be little, right? Small circles, so you can feel the weight of your body transferring from sit bone to sit bone, right? Those bony protrusions underneath your cheeks. Sit bone to sit bone. Maybe you close your eyes to really allow your mind's eye to travel down into your seat and feel the gentle shifting weight of your body. Can we breathe deep into the belly as we feel the weight shifting round and round? We're not here for the effort, right? To engage those muscles necessarily. We're here to engage the mind, connect it with the sensations of the body. If you would like, you might draw those circles bigger and bigger, getting into these hip muscles here. The front, the back, and the sides. You can use your palms atop your thighs to brace. As big as you like. Beautiful. And then let's start moving with the breath. So on an inhale, we'll round back. On an exhale, we round forward. Maybe that slows or speeds your circles up, but take a moment to acclimate your movement with your breath. Exhaling, rounding forward. Inhaling, rounding back. When you're ready, switch sides or directions with those circles, finding balance in the body. Maybe you can feel as you draw these bigger circles that the weight shifts not only in your sits bones, but also through the heels of your feet. Can you feel as you round towards the legs that the weight in the back of your heels changes? These little details that invite us into our own body are pretty powerful, and we overlook them, right? Just like those glimmers we're searching for. We don't find them because we're not trained to. And so we take the time to nurture that part of us. On an exhale, pause, rounded forward, let the heart melt. You might tuck your belly between your thighs if you're like me and you've got a beautiful belly. Letting the heart melt. It might feel great to stretch the arms out long as you fold, maybe not. Sometimes it can feel real nice to keep them tucked in towards the body. Checking in with the feet as we fold. Oftentimes the toes want to travel inwards, so invite them back towards the ceiling as you continue to melt. And then let's walk our hands all the way over towards the right, as far as they want to go. And then we're going to reach our left hand towards those right toes. Maybe we find the calf and we just give it a little rub here. Maybe we find the ankle or the feet, and take a moment and just say, this is my foot. This is my ankle, my calf. It is part of my body. It belongs to me. Now, as you're touching yourself here, can you feel through the pads of your fingers and the palm of your hand the sensation? That's the palm of your hand receiving that touch. Now, can you feel your leg, ankle, or foot receiving the touch? Can you travel your mind's eye into your leg or your foot and receive the touch of your hand? Notice how it's different. Beautiful. When you're ready, walk your hands on over towards the other side. We're just letting it be messy. And we're going to do the same thing. Rubbing on the leg, ankle, foot. Taking a moment and telling yourself, this is my body. This is my foot, my ankle, my calf. It's part of my body. It belongs to me. Can you feel your fingers and palms receive that touch, right? Can you feel the textures of your leg or your toes? Maybe they're cold, maybe it's warm, prickly if you're me. Beautiful. Now, can you let the leg, can you feel the foot or the leg receiving the touch? Can you feel it in your calf, your ankle, wherever you're touching yourself? Can you receive the sensation of that touch? Beautiful. From here, keep that left hand planted. On an inhale, we're going to sweep that right arm skyward. So we're just opening into a twist. The back of that right palm might reach towards the back of the wall here, just to open up the heart center. For protecting our rotator cuff, you might keep your palm planted on your heart or your chest. Reach with the elbow. Do what feels good. And then on an exhale, sweep that right hand down towards those left toes. Inhale, open it back up. We've been doing this lately because it's such a beautiful way to cross the midline of the body and to bring some mobility to the whole of the spine. And each time we cross the midline, we build resilience in our amygdala, right? The big emotional processor of our brain. Each time we cross the right over to the left or the left over to the right, we are building our own resilience. On your next inhale, sit up tall. Let's switch sides. Opening it up wide, pressing that left hand back towards the wall. And then an exhale, reaching for those right toes, and inhale to open. A few more breaths just like this. Getting into the flow. Maybe you feel with each inhale how far your body can stretch, how much the breath in can assist with that stretch. And then on your next inhale, rise up tall. Beautiful. Let's do some shoulder rolls, just casually one way and then the other. Woo. We've been doing a lot of work here. Big mindful stretches. When you're ready, an inhale sweeps the arms up, reaching through those fingertips. An exhale brings the arms behind the back. Now we're either interlacing the fingers, we're making fists at our back, or you can grab that strap and use it instead of interlacing the fingers. So from wherever you are, squeezing those shoulders back, those shoulder blades, like you're pinching a pencil between them, letting the heart center travel forward. And then we're going to take a nice cat-cow here. So pressing through the heels of the feet, we're going to shift the tailbone up towards the belly button. And then keeping those shoulders squeezed, lower your forehead down towards the earth. Whoo, breathe and be. Hold for as long as you like. Notice what you can soften into, keeping those shoulder blades squeezed back, pressing through the heels of your feet. On an inhale, we're going to lift our heart center and our chin skyward, making plenty room for our belly. And then move with the breath. Exhale, lower, curling that tailbone towards the heart center, pressing through the heels. Inhale, rise tall, lifting through the heart and the chin. With each inhale, you might take an opportunity just to squeeze those shoulder blades one more time, keeping that nice squeeze as you lower down. Wonderful. On an exhale, go ahead and release. Let's find ourselves in bound angle, this time seated upright, right? No longer supta. Supta is reclined in Sanskrit. So from here, find your butterfly wings. And I've been doing this a lot lately. I went to a 5-day trauma immersion, trauma and somatics with other practitioners. And one of the things that Gabor Mate, Dr. Peter Levine, Dr. Ariel Schwartz kept sharing was that your body has a natural rhythm. It needs to shake, it needs to sway, it needs to wobble. right? There is a freedom and a flow that has been taken from us because we're more evolved, because we're not animals, right? And so it's this sway, and maybe you sway those wings just as big as they want to flap. It's this jiggle and sway in the body that we embrace yet again, right? So you might notice what parts of your body feel a little stiff in this jiggle. Maybe your shoulders don't want to relax. Maybe the belly is tight. Can we breathe softness into it? Now you can plant your hands down by your sides. You might place hands over the heart. It's kind of nice to place the hands on the heart or cross the arms, because then you can participate the whole of the body in this jiggle, right? The knees, jiggle the upper body, jiggle the shoulders, maybe even feel it up in the jaw and the neck. Can we breathe and soften into it? Let the rhythm be messy. Let the body shake and jiggle. It's a beautiful thing. Go ahead and soften, relaxing through the inner thighs, letting the belly and the shoulders melt. And then on an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. We'll find a twist. As you exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand plants behind you. Maybe you recline a little bit into this twist. Using both hands as anchors, pull your heart center on over towards the wall, towards the right. You might even turn your gaze over that right shoulder, exploring this twist through the whole of the spine. Can you relax the jaw? When you're ready, release. On your next inhale, those arms sweep skyward, and we switch sides. Ooh. And again, maybe this is an opportunity to notice how this twist feels on this side compared to the other. There's no better or worse. There just is no symmetry, right? There just is a difference. And that difference isn't bad. It's just information. And information helps us honor our bodies, our minds, our real needs. So we can't be afraid of the information that we find. And that's why we leave judgment behind, because it has no home here. When you're ready, rise up tall. Beautiful. Whew, shake it out for a little bit. All right, from here, let's do a little 90-90 love. We've been doing it a lot, but it's super awesome. So we're going to keep this left leg just as it is. You're going to take your right leg, either extend it out long. This might be how you do your 90-90, or you might take it and sweep that inner ankle back behind you, bending the knee. From here, I'm going to pull my support from underneath my hips. The hips are going to talk to you. Whichever leg is in front, you're going to support that one hip and not the other. So I folded my blanket in half so it's extra tall. I'm going to rock forward and then place it up underneath my left hip, right? That hip that's in front. So from here, you might plant your left hand down towards the left, and then we're going to swing our right arm across the body. So moving with the breath, opening it up wide, and then exhale, closing it across the body, reaching as far as we can reach sort of behind us, right? So this big exploratory twist, letting each inhale open the body up wide, each exhale exploring this cross body twist. And then on your next exhale, hang out in this closed twist. If you're like me, you might pull your belly gently above the thigh, which can really help you explore this twist more fully. And then keeping this twist closed, instead of left and right, we're gonna go up and down. So inhale, we rise tall. Exhale, lower towards the earth, and let your gaze follow, right? Let your heart center follow your arm. We're reaching tall through the top of our head, always pulling on that gentle string through the length of the spine. And then maybe you want to find some intuitive movement. Maybe we combine those two together, right? Do what feels good to you. Flow, feel, explore. Maybe you get a little animalistic with it, right? Moving the neck and the head. Let it be messy. Search for your glimmers. Where does it feel good, right? I'm shifting my hips a little, shifting my spine and my shoulders, getting my neck into it. Oh, like you're waking up and no one's watching, but you just had the best sleep of your life and your body just needs a little, right? When you're ready, rise up tall. Let's find a forward fold if it feels nice. And inhale, when you're ready, lengthens the spine, and exhale, melts you forward. Ooh. And then hanging out in as much of this 90-90 fold as you like. Blocks can be a wonderful boon here to lift the floor up, bring a little ease to our experience. But from here, let's do a little cobra wave. So on an exhale, the heart center lowers down, but the chin remains lifted. And then the chin is the last to lower. On an inhale, we press through the hands, the shoulder blades rise. The chin is the last to lift. So exhale, heart lowers, chin lowers. Inhale, shoulder blades lift, chin lifts. Can you feel the flow in your body? And I'm keeping my elbows tucked in towards my side body, just like we would in Cobra. Moving with your breath. Now, if it feels good, you can do this in pigeon pose by taking this back leg, right? Your left or your right leg, curling the toes, lengthening it back behind you. And you can continue this. Wherever we are, 2 more breaths. When you're ready, find yourself back in 90-90, sit up tall. From here, rock forward, remove that blanket, and then find your way into staff pose. So lengthening both feet out in front. Press through the heels, flex the toes towards the heart. You might notice the back body engages. So here we are in this nice L shape, lengthening through the spine. This posture is supposed to be easy, right? No, it is not. It is always engaged. It's beautiful to just feel those sits bones grounding down, to feel the heels pressing out, and then to feel the spine pressing long. Can we feel tall and powerful here? Maybe the hands press into the upper thighs. Hi, baby girl. Maybe they press down into the earth, lifting the spine just a little more. And then when you're ready, this left leg swings out towards the left. We're going to bend that right knee in, finding 90-90 on the other side. Maybe you hang out here. Maybe you do bend this left inner ankle back behind you. And then if it feels right, rock forward, supporting the hip of the leg that's in front. Beautiful. When you're ready, that right arm plants towards your right. On an inhale, we're sweeping that left arm open back towards the wall, filling our lungs with breath. Exhale, close across the body. Moving with your breath. Really getting into the hip flexors here. We're getting in to our psoas muscles that carry a lot of our big feelings. On an exhale, keep this twist closed. Take a moment to just explore the sensation of the body stretching and reaching. Maybe this is a time where we gently lift that belly atop the thigh. And then when you're ready, an exhale lowers the heart, head, and hand. An inhale lifts it. Two more breaths just like this. And then explore intuitively, right? What feels good? Sometimes it can be hard spending this much time on your wrist. I will always recommend using forearms instead of wrists. Find the animal in your body, those glimmers of pleasure, unapologetically, exploring your own physical body. And then when it feels right, slowly sit upright. Let's get ready for our fold. An inhale brings that length. And exhale surrenders the belly and the heart. And there's plenty of space for the belly between the thighs here. And we want it to melt at the same-ish rate as the heart, right? Keeping that low back, the lumbar spine nice and long. And then when you found your way into your fold, keeping the elbows tucked in towards the side body, we're gonna do our cobra wave. So on an inhale with the head lowered towards the earth, we're gonna lift through the shoulder blades and then the chin. Exhale, lower the heart, then the chin. Moving through your waves. Maybe it takes you a few breaths to find your rhythm or to feel this in your body. Let it be messy. Imagine you're a wave on a beach pouring on the sand again and again. Maybe you lengthen that left leg out behind you for your pigeon, and you do this flow in pigeon pose. I'm not going to do that. But you are welcome to find balance in your body. Beautiful. Another breath or two in movement or pause, wherever feels good. And then an inhale, rise up tall. Wonderful. Let's find our way back into our wide-legged pose. We can ditch the blanket, or we can put it back up underneath our sits bones. However, sitting wide like this, giving ourselves a wider base, can just be really helpful. So from this posture, we're going to end our class with a little havening practice. And havening was introduced by a female doctor whose name has slipped my mind, but I'll post it in Discord later. And havening is a touch practice that has been shown to decrease levels of anxiety, to lower your blood pressure, and to deepen the breath. And it's as simple as this: finding a nice seated posture that feels good in your body. And then let's take a few cleansing breaths. Deep breaths in, nice slow exhales. Melt the shoulders, melt the jaw, melt the belly. One more time. Let it out, let it be messy. We've done such good work. And then we'll begin our havening practice by rubbing the palms together. We're just creating a little heat. We can start palm to palm, but then maybe we explore the rest of our hands. Maybe rub palm to back of hand, switching sides. And our goal here is to allow your mind's eye to feel the sensation of your palms touching each other, the friction, the heat that you're building. Maybe it just feels nice to simply rub the palms, finding what feels good for you. Our next step in havening is we take opposite hand to opposite shoulders, and then we rub down, just like this, in a downward motion. Can you breathe deep into the belly, finding those nice slow exhales as we rub the hands down the length of our arms. Beautiful. Next, we take our fingertips, and from the center of our forehead, we travel out towards the temple. It can be nice to keep the eyes closed because it allows the mind to really drop into the body and to feel the sensation. Here we go. The tips of the fingers touching the face. Can you feel it? The tips of your fingers receiving sensation. Now, can you feel your forehead and your temples receiving the touch of your fingertips? Can you feel your forehead receiving touch? And then we move, last but not least, from the nose to the cheekbones. Just a gentle swipe. Breathing deep into the body. This time, can you feel the cheeks receiving touch? Can you feel your fingertips giving touch? What sensations are in your fingertips? Beautiful. When you're ready, simply lower your hands down by your sides. We're going to end our practice with a seated Shavasana. And our goal is just ultimate comfort. So if you've got a wall nearby, you might back up against the wall, rest your spine against it. You might be like, hell no, Danaé, we're not doing seated Shavasana. And you might lay down on your belly or your back. If you want to hang out how I'm hanging out, I'm going to come back to Baddha Konasana, making plenty of space for my belly, plenty of space for my heart. Just going to gently grab my ankles or my shins and then let my shoulders melt, let my forehead melt down towards the earth. A little cocoon we're building. Wherever you want a cocoon, find your way there. Maybe you grab your blanket that you've been using and you cover your body with it. However you want the cocoon. Oh, give yourself permission to explore what feels good, knowing that I'm just here to suggest. I am not the end all be all. I'm simply a guide for your own experience. So as you find your little safe cocoon, be here. Relax into this softness for a moment or two. With each exhale, can you find a little more softness, a little more ease? It's here in stillness that our default mode network comes into play. That's what our mind does when it's not preoccupied. So far, we've kept the mind focused on movement and sensation. But here in stillness, the default mode network kicks in, and suddenly our mind is planning and judging and thinking and worrying. So I invite you to take a moment to call your brain back, right? Call the mind back into the body. Sometimes the breath is the most powerful spot for the mind to hang out. Feeling the sensations of each inhale. Maybe you do that in your cocoon, wherever you are, however you've built it. Can you feel how each inhale expands the body? Can you feel what part of the body lifts or rises, stretches with each breath in? Now notice your exhales. As you release each breath, what parts of your body soften? What parts of your body surrender? Whenever the mind moves back into its default mode network, bring it back to the breath. And know that each time you do this, you're training your mind. You're using neuroplasticity to change your default mode network. And the more time that you spend doing little exercises like this, the kinder your default mode network is to you, and the more easily and quickly it complies to your needs, because your mind is a tool and it thinks to help you and it does what it's been trained. And so it's in these powerful places that we train the mind to become our ally and not our torturer. A few more breaths here. And then when you're ready, begin to awaken your body using pendiculation. And pendiculation is just a fancy way of saying intuitive stretching and movement. You might let it be small, like stretching the fingers and the toes, feeling what that feels like to stretch, awaken, curl, expand. And then bring that into the arms and the legs, the rest of the body, listening to what you want and need, right? What is it that your physical form is asking for? Maybe there is a movement that it was craving through the whole of practice and it never got. And that's all right. We just allow and explore. And then when you feel ready in a cozy seat or a cozy wherever, we'll end our practice. Maybe palms towards the heart center if it feels right, a bow in the head. We practice seeking our own pleasure, finding glimmers, knowing that it's enough to look at the palms of our hands, that small sweetnesses we can grasp and say, wow. And the more we practice seeing those glimmers, grasping on to those little bits of joy, pleasure, delight, the easier that it gets. Healing doesn't have to be just hard and work. Healing is also the glimmers. Take a moment and give yourself a hell yeah for showing up. This work, this healing work isn't something that anyone else can do for you. And here you are doing it for yourself. And that is so damn powerful. Know that the light in the dark in me sees the light in the dark in you.